Attention crew, it's time to make it so. Reporting for duty are your fearless co-hosts, Crewman PVG, bringing the logic, Crewman Mgyx, keeping it bold, and Crewman Tommy, ready with the photon torpedo of hot takes. From classic episodes to new frontiers, Klingon phrases to Starfleet trivia, no quadrant is off limits. So grab your tricorder, set your phasers to fun, and prepare for another warp speed ride through the final frontier. This is Technically Trek.
Laying a course, maximum warp.
Aye, Captain.
Engage.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of the Technically Trek podcast. Sitting beside me in studio, wearing shorts. Let me switch cameras.
Wow. So soon.
Is the one and only PVG. Say hello, sir.
Hello from 10 Forward.
And the man in the middle. Crewman Mgyx, what's up?
What's cracking? You know, I'm being the man in the chair. Kind of. Putting the N in fun.
There you go.
Hello, chat. I see Crewman Karen. And we've got a, would we call her a new viewer? Mackenzie?
She's watched before.
Oh, okay.
She's kind of new to Star Trek, though.
Oh, okay.
How new?
Never watched an episode in her life.
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. How do we know her?
She is my son's better half.
Okay. You had to pause for that. Is there some issues that are going on?
No.
IB is in the chat.
What up, Ib?
From New York City.
Get a rope.
I was pretty low energy today because I had a busy night last night, and first thing this morning I had to unload 2 vehicles, and I was thinking, man, am I gonna recover the energy I need to entertain our viewers at the level they deserve? So, but I did it. I figured it out. Just drank a lot of Dr. Pepper today.
So what'd you do yesterday?
I had to entertain a crowd. I performed my magic. I also watched a few episodes of DS9.
So did I. Ironically, because I remember that you were about to surpass me. I don't know if you still are.
Nipping on your heels. I watched 5-2, 5-3, 5-4, 5-5, and 5-6. So I'm up through episode 6 of season 5.
Oh, I'm right. I'm halfway through episode 5.
Okay.
That's a tough watch.
There's a couple tough watches because I try to take at least one note per episode as more like a one-line summary. And there was one I didn't even have a note. That's how bad it was.
Well, this one's the one where
the one that I struggled with was the one where Jake realizes he's a coward.
Oh yeah, that was episode 4.
I have no notes in that episode except Jake realizes he's a coward. That's the only notes I took for the whole episode.
So I had that same thought, and then I realized that it's not. Yes, he does realize he's a coward, but it actually means that he's not for Starfleet, and like that, I honestly took it as a positive, because before Jake already said, "I don't want to join Starfleet. I don't want to do this. Yeah. That's not my life. It's not for me." You know, he did the reverse. What was the Vanderbeek movie with the football? It's one of my favorite movies, and I can't even think of the name of it.
Night something. Oh, Varsity High.
Varsity Blues.
Yeah, Varsity Blues.
He did the reverse. I don't want your life.
Yeah.
So, and his dad was always like, "Oh, maybe you'll grow into it. You never know." And that episode showcased, no, that is not for him.
Right.
But he rewatching it as an adult, looking more not just the pure entertainment of entertain me, make me feel something show. I saw it more as okay, Jake realizes Starfleet is definitely not for him, but it did showcase his writing ability. Like the way, and this is actually the writers that wrote this stuff, but you could tell it was him coming into his own of writing what war was like and being able to describe it in a manner, and his realization that he doesn't have the balls to do the shit that Starfleet does. And I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, and he runs like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. He's got a Scooby-Doo run.
I was laughing pretty hard at that. When he did that the flailing arms run.
Oh my God.
Yes, that was definitely a Shaggy run.
I was like, what the fuck?
Well,
I went back and rewound it, and I was like, I need to take the time to take that clip and with the the running sound.
That should be in some kind of a training video. Okay, so let me recap real quick. So I watched the first episode I watched this week was episode 2 of season 5, and it's called The Ship. A Jem'Hadar ship crashes.
Yep.
So spoiler alert, they find this ship. They're doing like some kind of geological survey on this planet, and there's a runabout with some what do you call the red shirts? The red shirts.
Cadet red shirts.
Yeah, there's like 3 people waiting up in the orbiting shuttlecraft in a runabout, and then Cisco and a bunch of others are down on the ground, and then a Jem'Hadar ship crashes, and I guess it's got something unique about it. So they go into the ship, everybody's dead. And then all of a sudden, another Jem'Hadar ship drops out of warp, destroys the runabout.
That right there was mistake number 1. Cisco should have lost his job.
Yeah.
Because you're in a time of war. Okay, and a craft crashes on a planet. Is not destroyed. Looks like it takes less damage than the Enterprise D took from Generations or any of their crashes. The very first thing should have been runabout land, scan this, we need to hurry up. This is still a feasible ship. If we can't get it, we need to destroy it because someone's going to come and get this.
And I think even O'Brien said, man, we need to find out who designed their hull because this thing took almost no damage.
Exactly. But he's like, oh, no, we're going to get this. And I think he was low-key jealous of Dukat for jacking a Klingon bird of prey.
Right. Oh, yeah, Cisco's jealous. Play.
And now he's like, oh, well, you got a bird of prey. I got a Jem'Hadar. Like,
Jem'Hadar.
Dude, but guess what? Within 10 minutes, another ship comes out of orbit. I was like, hey, they're looking for their ship. And destroys the runabout, which he left the kids in charge of.
Yep.
So that was the other thing. Why didn't you leave a senior officer in charge on that? Because even if you didn't say, hey, get out of here, a senior officer with war experience would have been like, yo, let's get out of here. We'll be back.
Yeah, once they saw a Jem'Hadar ship crash, that should have changed the tone. Like they should have gone into alert mode. Like there's never like one Jem'Hadar ship alone. So you got to know there's going to be more. And so another Jem'Hadar ship comes, and it's got this, this girl. She kind of decent looking for a.
She's in every series. She's in Voyager. She's in DS9. She's in TNG.
Yeah.
She recently passed away, I think.
I think I did. I think she was in one of our little trivia.
She was in one of our trivia things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, she all right. She all right. You little gumbo.
Gumbo-ish for a Vorta. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, there's a changeling hiding on that ship.
Look, it's 20 years. If you motherfuckers ain't watched this, spoilers are abound. We're not holding shit
There's
back.
a changeling on the ship. Why doesn't the changeling get off the ship? I don't get that part.
I don't either, because they left the ship multiple times. And they transported in multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
He literally could have just oozed out as a liquid and no one would have noticed.
Why did the Vorta is transporting here and there everywhere? Why not just transport the changeling? I mean, they actually transported Jem'Hadar right on the ship.
The only thing I could think of is that the changeling had to be a solid in order to be transported. In which case, change into a panel.
Yeah.
Change into a trash bag. Something.
Yeah, so that didn't make much sense to me. But in the end, the changeling ends up dying. I guess maybe he got injured, in the crash.
He can't hold his shape, and he chose to die. Because I wondered that same thing. I was like, why didn't he leave? Why didn't he change to something else? Why didn't he move? Why didn't he go somewhere else in the ship and go back to his liquid state?
Right.
Anywhere, just become a puddle on the floor.
Well, he would have had to he probably would have had to have a little bucket somewhere. Like if you're going to be...
No, because Odo did it in... I know it's going to sound nasty. Get your minds out of the gutter. But Odo did it in Roxana's lap.
Yeah.
In her dress. So you can find a corner and become literally a piss rock.
Yep.
Or piss puddle. And just stay in there. Like I said, you're upside down as it is. You have access to the ventilation. Ooze out somewhere and just find a corner and just become your puddle. And then leave, Ooze out while they're taking off. You can... Obviously, Odo is seeing that you could transfer it into a bird. Hell, when they right the ship upright, just literally fall out of a vent somewhere and then change into a bird and fly away. I don't understand why he didn't revert to anything. And then why they grabbed the dirt or why they grabbed the remnants. She's like, oh, would you allow me to at least take some of the remains? I was like, okay.
Chief Scott likes your shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Shock. Surprise, surprise.
Why did Chief Scott make that shirt?
No, he has one just like it.
They're twinsies. And his favorite episode is the party at Tanagra.
But I also found that episode interesting because everyone was getting on everyone's nerves.
Yeah, I almost thought it was leading to like some kind of chemical leaking out of the like they were all like absorbing like some vaporized white or something.
Yeah, because I was like, man, y'all are flipping out a little too easy.
Like, why are they all so angry at each other? Cisco
You're not
was
in
yelling.
a confined space. You have a huge ship.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all literally are in closer proximity when you're on the space station. Why are y'all flipping out? And maybe it was because, and I thought, well, maybe it's because they're under this constant barrage of shelling from the other people. But then I don't think I would care because this ship survived re-entry.
Right.
With no structural damage. And obviously there's something that they want here. You have all the cards.
So
Shit,
in the
take a
end,
nap.
the changeling dies, and they let the Vorta lady, Tiggs McGee, whatever her name was, She comes in and just scoops a little bit of the, I guess the changeling, when it dies, it dries up and turns into ash. And so she scooped up some of its ash into a little jar, and I guess she's going to make a necklace out of it or something. And, all the Jem'Hadar killed themselves because a changeling died on their watch. And, to them, changelings are gods. So if you are in charge, if you're on detail to protect the changeling and he dies, then anybody in that detail has to sacrifice themselves.
The Vorta is named Kilana.
Yes,
And
Kilana.
it's played by actress Caitlin Hopkins,
Oh, okay.
who honestly looks a little bit like PBT, help me out here. Wonder Woman.
Oh,
Linda Carter.
yeah.
Linda Carter.
I know.
A little bit like Linda Carter.
Wonder Woman.
I was thinking Diane.
Diane. That's her real name.
Yeah.
Diana Prince.
Oh. All right. So after that episode, changeling dies, and they do take the ship. And I guess they get a big thumbs up from Starfleet. The next episode was something about Parmak. Hold on, what was it called? Looking for Parmak in all the wrong places. So this Klingon girl, what was her name? Grilka, from the House of Grilka. Worf is just stunned. Worf is sitting there talking to Dax, Jadzia, who she's starting to get feelings for him. I don't know if he has any feelings for her yet.
And she has had feelings for Worf.
Right, so she's got feelings for Worf, but this girl comes into Quark's bar, and Worf just, his jaw
nuts
drops.
on himself.
He
does Worf nuts in his man.
Worf, and this is like when you're hanging out with someone that has a thing for you, but then you just flat out say, "Damn, who's that?" Like, hey, can you help me get with her? That's essentially what happens. Worf wants Dax to help. Like, basically, he wants Dax to be his wingman so he can hook up with Grilka. And then Worf starts hating on Quark because Quark, when he finds out Quark is his ex, like their ex, like married, they were. Worf is just shocked. He can't believe it. He's like, yeah, that had to be some kind of marriage of convenience, which it was. But she comes back, and maybe I forgot all the motives and everything, but she has dinner with Quark, and Worf actually ends up helping Quark, advance his...
get them draws.
Right. And I think Worf is still shocked that Quark is able to pull it off.
I mean, you wrote the blueprint, and you're giving them all the moves.
Yeah.
You could have just said, "Nah, bruh, nah."
Or he could have I thought Worf was going to give him bad advice, like advice that would get him killed. And maybe Worf thought that would happen. Like, well, she ain't gonna take that from a Ferengi. Kapla. And so, yeah, I mean, Quark does pretty well. I don't remember how it ended.
So Worf gets him to the point where they're doing Quark declares his love for her. Her bodyguard's like, "No,
yeah.
I want her. I challenge you to death by combat."
Mm-hmm.
So, and Worf's like, "All right, the only way you're gonna survive is if I treat you like a marionette."
Right.
And then, and part of him showing off, he breaks the controller.
Right. The antenna.
And then Quark stalls, and they go back at it. And he's like, "Oh, I've survived." It's like, and Jadzia is like, "Dude, it's not you. You are literally, all your words are going to somebody else. Why are you helping this dude when something is right in front of your face?" And Worf's like, "I don't know what you're talking about. The Klingon tradition." It's like, yeah, the Klingon tradition, computer batleth. And he's like, yes, and then you would do this, and she does it.
And she's
he's
like,
oh,
it's right in front of your face.
oh,
Kapla.
you want these titties? And so they end up fighting, doing the Klingon thing. And ironically enough, this is what was cheesy about this episode. Is they cut to black, or they cut to some other scene, story arc, B, C, D, whatever. And then they cut back, and they're like, oh, it's in Bashir's office. Somebody's in there for some, like a broken leg or some shit like that. And then, oh, Quark comes in, and he's like, oh, what were you doing? He's like, oh, I got with the Klingon. It was all for love, blah, blah, blah. And then Worf and Jadzia come in, and Bashir's like, what were you two doing? He's like, you know what? I'm done asking. And then Worf was like, well, what are we now? Like, I learned that a long time. Just shut the fuck up. When you're done, you just shut the fuck up.
Big Bean
he's
in
like,
the
well,
chat.
what does that mean for us now?
Big Bean saying, giving.
Who is Big Bean?
I don't know.
But
But
they
it's
know
a big
you.
bean for you.
Oh,
They must really love your shirt.
But they're like, Worf's like, well, what does that mean for us now? What are we? And Jadzia's like, man, just roll with it. Just quit being a woman about this and just roll with it.
Right.
It's like, I do not like the uncertainty. She's like, well, suck it up, Buttercup.
Well, side arc to this episode got a little entertaining, which is Kira Miles. Miles with the leg rubs and the thigh rubs and the back rubs.
Yo, first of all, when he's doing that booty cheek rub, that's what I'm calling it. That was not a thigh rub. If that was a thigh rub, that was inner thigh rub.
Yes.
Because he had to put her
thigh.
arm there. And I saw that moo whatever she was wearing.
Right.
I was like, I've dated a couple women that wear that same thing. That is easy access.
Yep.
And I know the back side of that is always falling to expose for easy access. And he's just back there. He's in it. Like, oh, yeah. Dude, you rubbing on ass cheeks. You just in it.
Well,
and
see, and I don't even think Miles, I think he's just oblivious. But see, I think Kira's starting to catch feelings because she's like, I kind of like this. I kind of like these upper thigh rubs.
Exactly. That's what I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, and then Keiko's just like, oh,
I know.
That's just normal. It's okay. Are you two arguing again? I'm like, bitch, are you blind? Well, these two just want to fuck.
Well, she probably knows Miles is blind or like not capable of whatever. But Kira, I think the light switch flicks on for Kira, and then she gives Miles that look, and then Miles is like,
oh yeah, because she's like, yeah, and another life. He's like, yeah, another life. Is there another day? Oh, another day. Yeah, I'm just gonna go to this romantic place. It's supposedly the most romantic place. And I was just like, okay,
right. And like what Karen is saying is, Kira was blaming Dr. Bashir, but it's like at the end of the day, Bashir did what needed to be done. None of this is Bashir's fault. Bashir had to save the baby.
You want somebody dead, or you want them all alive?
Right. So Kira's just looking for someone to blame because she's starting to catch feelings.
Well, I think what Karen is saying is that she was pregnant in real life with Bashir's baby, the actor, because they were smashing. So when she says you did this to me, she
right.
literally meaning the actor playing Dr. Bashir did that to her because that was his kid. But yeah, character-wise, yeah, he did put her in there as well. But I just think this was another episode that solidified who has it worse, Worf or O'Brien. Because think about it. Everyone, well, I mean, look at everything that happened to O'Brien up to now. Even losing, like, his wife isn't even carrying his baby anymore. But then look at Worf. He gets with Jadzia, which he totally didn't even see happening. But then they do, and then they get married. Every single person that Worf has been with dies. All of them. His Alexander's mom, dead. Jadzia, dead. Deanna might as well be dead. She's fucking Riker.
But she ain't dead. All right, before we
Yeah.
answer that question, I'm going to jump into a little bit of the next episode because this is another Miles O'Brien heavy episode. And it's called The Assignment. Keiko is possessed by a Paul Wraith. This again makes no sense to me. This episode
hurts my brain.
Okay. These Paw Wraith are so powerful. They possess Keiko. Why not just possess Miles? Or why? I don't know. Possess Cisco.
I don't think they can. I knew you were going to bring this up. So first of all, the Paw Wraith are the same creatures from
The Prophets.
Strange New Worlds.
Oh, okay. Like the Vesda.
They're in the fire caves.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Paw Wraiths are the Bedeas. What were the evil things?
Vesdas?
Vesdas. So Paw Wraith translates to the Vidian planet where they're on. And when you see them, when Spock, I think, looks down, he sees the fire caves where all of them are at. So the Paw Wraith of the Vidya, they're all the same thing. This is the thing that hurts my brain, is that if everything that Enterprise did under Pike is on record, then they should already know that the Paw Wraiths are the Vidya people. Unless somehow they got
the episode
erased by
the way the
Section
episode
31.
the episode explains it as they're all just myth, right? Like
They are, but they're not, because we already see them in reality. Even though we as the audience see them, the universe of Star Trek sees them on Enterprise. They already know that. They see that they've been possessed. I don't think they can possess Miles, because Miles had that thing fucked up in his mind where he did the 20-year bid in 2 hours. And I think you have to have like a weak mind or something that allows them to easily take it over. And I don't think they could do that with Miles because he's gone through that trauma. And he has regular PTSD from real life shit. And this is also not the same Miles from this universe. Kind of like Harry Kim is not the same Harry Kim from this universe.
he's out of sync.
Yeah, pretty much. So this is very much like a Doctor Who episode. If anybody watches Doctor Who, this is like the River Song, Melody Pond story arc that runs in reverse forward. So to give you a hint, this Dr. Song is a traveler and supposedly married to the Doctor and all this other shit. Turns out it's actually the baby of one of the Doctor's companions who was conceived on the TARDIS, and it's partly a Time Lord. But they live their lives, their interaction in reverse. So the first time he sees her, she's about to die. And the last time she sees him, he's about to die. So, someone of us watching from Greenville University.
All right.
So with this episode, I got halfway through it because I had to stop because it was a hard watch, man.
This is a tough watch.
Keiko's acting is I don't know if it's her acting or just how they wrote her. It's like eating unflavored chicken.
Here's my notes. Here's my notes from the episode. Doesn't really have anything to do with the episode other than Miles O'Brien has a very bad temper. Miles O'Brien cannot control his rage. And it makes me wonder how he's lasted this long, because he's been in a lot of stressful situations. But whenever the stress is directly on him, he loses it. Like I mean, a couple episodes back, he's yelling at his kid. He's yelling.
Yeah, that was when he did the 20-year bid. He had PTSD before he did the 20-year virtual bid, and then he had it on top of that as well. So he has double PTSD. And you never once see him get any kind of therapy.
Yeah, we can't curse tonight because we got kids from Greenville University watching. Shout out Greenville University.
What are you talking about?
By the way, for those of you guys watching at Greenville, I know you're big fans of PVG, and he normally does talk most of the episode. He normally does most of the talking, but tonight Mgyx and I are just in a different space, and we're kind of hogging the show up. But normally PVG hogs the show.
All right, PVG, what were your thoughts? Have you watched any of these episodes?
No, I have not.
But he's going to tell us what he did watch. Go ahead, PVG. It's your time.
I haven't watched anything. I'm I'm purging stuff from upstairs, and it's been taking a lot of my time.
What about?
So you didn't watch anything? You didn't watch
Con?
Voyager?
What about Con episode 4?
I did see that.
Well, you couldn't have seen it, but
no, I listened to it.
All right, run us through Con episode 4 real quick.
Go.
While the Greenville people are watching, because they're not going to watch too long, because they got college stuff to do.
Well, Con is going to get married.
Did you watch it?
I listened to it.
Did you listen to the whole thing?
Yeah, I did.
Did you listen to the part that vaguely sounded like, "Hey, I think Mgyx brought this up last week"?
No.
Starfleet put them there on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
And Marla was like, "Are you sure Kirk didn't do this on purpose?" And I was like, aha.
Like Section 31 knew.
It was influenced by Section 31, and Kirk was okay with it because they killed my son. So he had to. Wait, no, he hasn't killed his son yet.
Right. Well,
my bad. But Section 31 may already know that, but they still pushed him to put him on that planet. Skip on the what is it? Geological surveying. I mean, they could have picked any of the other planets. There was 7 of them.
Well, six.
At least 6.
6 exploded.
No, 6 didn't explode. Because they came back and said, "Well, these other ones didn't explode."
Which one exploded?
I thought it was 6, wasn't it?
Oh, my bad. I thought you meant 6 planets exploded, not SETI Alpha
just
6.
6. SETI Alpha 6.
What I'm saying is they could have put them on
SETI
other
Alpha
planets.
6.
But they chose this one because I think they knew that it was unstable and was gonna explode and hopefully take him out. And that's why I was like, "Oh, I'm finally not crazy," and thinking that.
I was gonna say one thing, and I was thinking about this maybe earlier today. While we've got the Greenville people, the Greenville University, Star Trek. If you're a fan of Star Trek, you are typically your mind evolves into a more what do you call it? I don't know. It's like you're more logical, and you're more like your thinking is clear. And I'm obviously not thinking clearly right now as I'm trying to explain it. But yeah, because of the way Star Trek versus other science fiction shows, Star Trek is more scientific.
It's more cerebral. It's not sorcery like Star Wars. Star Trek is more scientific. You know, like Tommy was saying, it's just more cerebral.
Yes, big beans. I am saying the difference between Star Trek and Star Wars is, you know, like force be with you, magic type stuff, and things just happen. It's kind of like an adventure, right? Star Wars is an adventure that you go on, and it's good versus evil. In Star Trek, it's more scientific, and it's not always good versus evil. It's like one people that think they're good and another people that think they're good. And, you know, it's, you throw science in there, and there's supposed to be this kind of hint of like, this is what our future could really be. You know, no one thinks Star Wars is what our future could really be. I don't.
Even though Earth is in the Star Wars universe.
So is it's
Star Trek.
Star Trek is also has Earth in it.
Yes, because everything is prominent on Earth, and Earth is where the good guys started. But the good guys are not always the good guys.
Who is Big Bean?
He is one of the 7 people that are watching at Greenville.
It's not anybody that you raised?
I don't know. No.
All right, because I was going to say, if you raise somebody and they don't know the difference between Star Trek and Star Wars, I'm going to question your parenting.
Jack knows.
All right. I would have questioned your parenting.
No, Jack knows.
Even though my kids probably don't know. I got to question my own parenting. Khan. So, Khan audiobook, episode 4. I watch it on YouTube. I know it's on some other podcast places as well. But so it starts off with, they got the they call them the SETI eels, right? So if anybody watched the movie The Wrath of Khan, you will have seen, and this is Star Trek movie number 2, The Wrath of Khan. The creatures that come crawling out of people's ears, that gives you like brain control. So
We got mind control over Debo.
Those are causing a problem. And so far that's pretty much the only problem, right? This planet seems okay, other than the eels are making people a little wacky.
Like they got the wacky tobacco.
But now that they've calibrated the sensors to find these things, you know, I don't think these eels are going to be a problem anymore. And now that what's her name has pulled the phaser out of the closet. So anyway, Marla tells Khan before they go to hunt down the queen of the eels,
I'm Prego. And she doesn't want him to go. Say, hey, I'm Prego.
See, in that, you got to realize when you're with the leader of a tribe, you can't do things like that.
All right, I wasn't going to say it because I didn't know how woke y'all felt about that.
That
was a bullshit move.
That's annoying to a leader. Like, the leader's got to lead.
Like, woman, I wanted to say something else. Woman, you couldn't have done this before we came out here, but I was scared.
But supposedly she knew earlier that day for sure.
She knew earlier that week.
Right, she said a few days.
But it confirmed by that doctor, though.
Confirmed. Look, man, the first time you think you might
Women's
be
knowing.
Speak up.
Women's be knowing.
You need to speak up.
Yeah, so they go after the mother eel, and I guess it's hard to visualize it by the way they're describing it in the show, in the audio. I mean, they make it sound big, but I'm like, is it like Godzilla big, or is it just like grizzly bear big? I don't know how big this thing is, but I guess it's too big for them to be able to defeat it with sticks and stones. And so Marla pops out of nowhere and just phasers it. And then everybody's like, whoa, what is that device?
Where'd you get that from?
Shooting a laser beam.
I was saving it.
And then there's that, there's the interaction with Tuvok and the investigator, right? I guess there's this girl that's doing an investigative story to figure out why Kirk would have done that. And Tuvok again defends Kirk and says, you're so worried about figuring out if Khan was a good guy. Did you ever bother to look into whether Kirk was a good guy?
And she couldn't answer.
Yeah. And so I don't know where this is all leading as far as like this investigation.
I hope it leads exactly to where I've been saying for a very long time. That Starfleet is not the good guys that everyone thinks it is. That it presents itself that way so that people join it. So it influences the people around you, so that people have something, a flag to stand behind. But in reality, they're probably from the Terran Empire. And this is probably the long game to convert our universe into the Terran universe. Because look at all the shit they've done so far. I mean, we have I was going to say a golden rule.
Why don't they get rid of the golden rule?
Oh my God. What? I
The
can't
Prime
think of the
Directive?
name. Thank you. Prime Directive, General Order 1, that everyone breaks.
I think they just get rid of that.
Everyone breaks it and it's done. They say, ew, it's a guideline. It's a matter of... Everyone breaks it when it's convenient to them. Think about it.
What is the point of the Prime Directive?
To keep people in check.
Right, but I would say, you know
Because
what?
if you could keep a planet in check or not interfere with them, you were establishing they're maybe 20 years away from getting warp travel. Maybe let's say they're 5 generations away, however long you put that as. Let's put a pin. Let's go ahead and put the pin in the parking lot for them, and we'll touch back with them.
But what if someone scoops them up
X
before
and Y
you?
resources.
That's why I would go in there and scoop them up now. I would say, you know
I
what?
think they tried that.
There's
and
5
it failed.
billion people on this planet. Let's just take it.
I think they tried it and it failed. I think they failed from a PR perspective because it makes it look like you're a colonizer.
Well, no, the Vulcans tried it and it failed. Because on Enterprise, I know the Vulcans said, yeah, we tried that. It didn't work out, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think the Vulcans are capable of it. I think humans, though, because humans can adapt. Like a human can say, all right, you know what? This species on this planet, you know what? They're a little like rambunctious. We can be rambunctious and get along with them. Vulcans
I think that's not going to
cannot.
work.
Vulcans cannot adapt.
I think that will put us right back where we're at right now. You're going to have a bunch of people in Starfleet and the Federation saying, you guys are bullies. You're pressuring these people to do one thing. You're colonizing another planet. You're influencing them to what you believe in and not what they believe in before you even existed.
Well,
They were doing
Karen says
perfectly
to
fine.
the stars through hardship.
Again, I think that is
What do you
a
think?
Section 31 thing to keep people in line.
Well, then why doesn't Section 31 introduce themselves?
Section 31 is the back end. They've been pulling the strings since like World War One, or not World War One, the
Eugenics?
Third World
Oh, World War III?
World War Three. I think they probably pushed us to that. To 1, control the population. 3, pull our resources, realizing that as a planet, we're never going to progress unless we all come together. And if we all come together and do this research, we can get warp travel because they were very likely from the Terran universe. It's possible they're from the Terran universe. I'm just saying. But Section 31, even if they're not from the Terran universe, realize it's kind of like what I've been saying in our own reality, you can't please everyone. The only thing that's going to pull everyone in the world together, especially the United States, is a in-country or in-continent invasion. Somebody invades the U.S., kind of like Pearl Harbor. A massive natural disaster that pulls the entire world together, especially the United States, or first contact with another species.
Friendly or
That'll
unfriendly?
trump everything. That'll trump everything that's going on right now. Literally, it'll trump Trump. No matter what's going on, if one of those three things happens,
What about severe weather?
again, if that happens, nothing that is going on in the world today that people think it takes precedence will matter. If we get, let's say it's the, there's a movie I like to watch where they have this massive storm. It's got Dennis Quaid in it and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Day after
but then
tomorrow.
the day after tomorrow, if something like that happens, yeah, we're all going to come together because that's going to throw off the entire planet. None of the political things are going to matter anymore that we have. The walls aren't going to matter. Borders aren't going to matter because half the world is going to, the majority of the world is going to be thrown into an upheaval within days. And it's going to be something that we as a single person or single country will not be able to stop.
By the way, this is episode 34 of the Technically Track podcast. If you are joining us for the first time or you haven't yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. Right now it's free. We're running a special, so you can subscribe now, no cost. And as a bonus, the like button should be there for you to click. That's very helpful to us.
Hear that, Greenville?
Greenville!
PVG, what are your thoughts on this? On
anything?
Oh, what happened?
What?
Oh, I got a buffer on the YouTube.
Oh, snap.
But it's gone now.
Okay,
PVG,
I'm not seeing any drop frames.
What are my thoughts on what?
What are your thoughts on that idea that Section 31 is really the ones running things?
Probably, yeah.
Like a puppet master?
But who's running Section 31? The guy with the most money?
Ash Tyler.
That's all I'm saying. They could be from the Terran universe. They could be the ones that already know about time travel, and they've seen how, in their world, how things came about, and they want to change it. And that's why you have the Prime Directive.
Thanks, Mackenzie.
Because DS9, thank you. This is what I was trying to remember. DS9, when they go to the mirror universe, they realize what happens when you interfere. And this is because of Spock. And when Kirk and Spock went to the mirror universe, Kirk puts the thought. He literally inceptions the mirror universe Spock to go to take a more peaceful manner instead of being the villainous ways. I was going to say evil, but that's not correct. And you learn what happened after Kirk leaves and that Spock tries to change his ways and how things are done. You see what happened is the Terran Empire got destroyed and it opened up for the Klingon and Cardassian Empire to take over, where you have Kira and all of them. They took over because of what Kirk did in Mirror, where he influenced that Spock before they leave, because that's the last time that Kirk is in the Mirror Universe. He influences that Spock to, one, let him go, and puts the seed of, hey, there's a more peaceful, better way. And look what happened. That Spock got fucked up. That entire universe got turned around, and now you have the DS9 mirror. That is the result of why there is no Earth, why humans are enslaved. It is because of exactly what Kirk did. And that's why I say there's very likely someone from Section 31 in the early days, or in that time period when they saw that happening, that came back to our universe and said, nah, that's not the way to go. We can't rule with an iron fist, but we can't not defend ourselves. We got to find a fine medium to handle this. And that's why they started pushing the things that we have now. You need some major catastrophe to draw everyone together. Then you make technological advances. Because again, we don't see.
You're talking about a false flag?
Sure, Manchurian Cannon. I don't know what the false flag means. I don't know that. I'm not political like you guys are. But you don't see where it goes
PVG
from
is
just
political, not me.
where you just go from driving a regular car to now you have a floating car. You don't see the technological breakthroughs that lead to that. Even a mag lift, you don't see that.
Right.
But then all of a sudden, we got cars and ships floating around Earth. Oh, and now we're in space. Now we're going warp 5. Where's this whole technological advance going in such a short period of time? I mean, if you really think about it, think of how long it took us to get from just rockets, shooting at enemies, to launching ICBMs. And then
in the grand scheme of the age of humanity, it didn't take long. Like, it took a long time to get to that point of rockets, period. But once we learned how to do rockets, like the learning curve is exponential, I guess, right?
It wasn't hundreds of years.
Like, once you learn how to once
you learn how to launch a rocket, within a year or two, you're launching a bigger rocket. It's going further, it's going faster. You're making progressive steps.
That's why starships are always, classes are evolving all the time. Like, a starship is only good for like 20 years.
So basically we went from the space shuttle to now we have this unlimited power supply and we can go to other planets. It may take us some time. We're not going faster than light yet, but we don't have to bring our own fuel. Right. We don't have to bring our own oxygen. All of a sudden.
We've had that from Voyager.
Oh, it's the wrong.
Voyager was us.
All right.
Voyager is Voyager 6, which I just read up on Voyager 1 and 2. They're still doing their thing. I check on them every couple of years. Anyway, somebody from Section 31 who was already more advanced than us would already know that. And if they're stuck here on Earth and they see where things are going, they can manipulate to avoid those, as well as provide technological advances, kind of like Daniels did in Enterprise.
That's why I think Starfleet at some level should get involved in a planet before it gets warp. Because it could be too late once they get warp.
You run the risk of turning everything that you built for the last millennia against you, because then you become the United States again, a colonizer. Then you become Genghis Khan again. After you already had
but what if someone else steps in and colonizes?
You can defend them. You've got all these friends. You're not alone. You got all these friends in your federation that you made.
What if the Dominion, like we see this in the Gamma Quadrant, right? The Federation is trying to befriend these planets, and the Dominion's also trying to befriend these planets. Some of these planets don't have warp capability.
That's a Federation against Dominion.
Yeah.
That's not the Vulcans and everyone else that's in the Federation. That's just that's Starfleet against the Dominion. That's not everyone else, because look what happened. You had to get the Klingons into the fight. You had to get the Romulans into the fight. You had to get all these other people into the fight. That's what I'm saying. If you go at it alone, as Starfleet goes at it alone, planet Earth, now you're a colonizer. Now you're just a bully. And that didn't work out well for you in your past. Like what happened in the United States when they were bullies. They bullied everyone around. Look at Russia. Look at Genghis Khan. It never helped to be a bully. But if you can befriend where you want to take, they'll more than willingly give that up.
Then call it befriending. Then say you're befriending. Hey, buddy, You want to be friends? Here's how you do warp. Here's a replicator for you.
I think then at that point, there's so many reasons why I could say why they shouldn't do it.
Would
Here's
you be
another
opposed
example.
giving a planet a replicator that doesn't have that technology?
You give someone a replicator, you give them warp travel. What if they then have a civil war that said where one people say the Federation or Starfleet, they're gods. Let's worship this Delta symbol, like they did in Strange New Worlds. And then the other half says, no, they're just like us. They're another planet. Then they go to war and they wipe each other out. Or one of them wins out and says, you know what? They're not gods. We're going to prove it to you. And they develop technology and then come after Starfleet. You literally created your own problem. But if you allow them to get to that technology where it's at, and they get warp travel and everything else.
So you're saying someone
you,
that doesn't have warp technology or replicators.
No. What I'm saying is, if you let them get it on their own, it's like saying, okay, I'm not going to fight you because I have a gun and you don't. But I'm going to wait till you get a gun, till you develop the power of a gun. Then we can fight. And that guy comes out there with a little single shot, muzzle loader pistol, and you come out there with a Glock 19.
But think about it this way.
Hey, you got a gun. I said I was going to wait for you to get a gun.
Right.
I didn't say what caliber of gun or what gun level technology.
But think about the
you
opposite.
You have a gun, I have a gun.
The opposite of what you're saying is, what if someone finds out that Starfleet exists, their planet has a major natural disaster that Starfleet could have helped them avoid using technology. They didn't because, well, we were like 2 years away from warp drive or whatever. This guy is so mad. They developed the warp drive and he still wants to destroy Starfleet because Starfleet watched his family get destroyed in a natural disaster that Starfleet could have helped them with.
Hey, you know what?
So there's always going to be a situation where it's always going to be it's a lose-lose, right?
It can be. I mean, hey, sorry you didn't figure out warp travel 2 years sooner. You could have saved yourselves. Nothing we could do about that.
Well, that's not going to change a bitter family man who lost his family because Starfleet said, well, we got rules. We can't help you.
I mean, you don't. I mean, that's up to you. Feel that way if you want to, but guess what? You just now got warp travel. We've had it. And we have other technologies that are way more advanced. So now this guy's
going to go out and develop new nanoprobes that will infect all of your species.
Good luck trying.
Oh, no. He's going to do it.
There was a reason that Romulan in Kelvin Timeline on that first Star Trek movie.
Oh, because they didn't help him stop the planet from being destroyed.
Spock, yeah.
Spock failed.
Looking for Spock.
I can't, you know what?
See? There's always going to be, it's either they're colonizers or they ignore and don't help out when they could. Like Kirk helped that planet. Kirk saved a planet, right? Kelvin Kirk. Kelvin Kirk saved a planet.
And they started worshiping him.
Yes.
Or worshiping the Enterprise. Okay.
Nothing wrong with that.
Here's the thing, though. Mind you, Romulans are basically Vulcans. They're all the same species, just on 2 different planets.
Yes.
Romulans knew that was going to happen. But because they're paranoid by nature, they failed to ask for help soon enough. Until the very last minute, they finally said, we need help. You could have asked 20 years ago. Because that's how long that kind of thing, is not it just all of a sudden is going to happen. No, that shit's like 20 years in the making. They already knew that was going to happen, and they hid it from people. They didn't allow people to do the proper scans to tell them, or people that did find out, they told them, and they ignored it. That was all Romulus' fault on their own. Now, because that guy doesn't know all that, because he's literally just a minor, Yeah, he took it out on. Well, I'm blaming Spock for this, and look what happened. Didn't work out well for him. Bigger picture.
It didn't work out well for a lot of people. Somebody might want to fact check this. I was really just looking for an excuse to bring up La'an, aka Christina Chong.
You were just trying to find a way to get me to shut up.
I don't know if it's her birthday or not. But in honor of Christina Chong's birthday, I gathered a few photos.
Well, do show.
Respect to the Asians.
She doesn't really look Asian.
No, she don't.
I think
Exotic.
she does.
I mean, she does a little. She actually, you know who she looked like in that picture, with the black? Ironically enough, the person I'm thinking of, his last name was Black. And she's from the SV.
You're talking about something 40 years ago?
Karen Black?
Yeah. No. These are all for webpage or album covers.
Yeah, these are album covers. Because she's a musician, by the way. You can buy her music on iTunes.
I've
or
yet
Apple
to
Music.
hear any of it, though.
I've never listened to it.
That's going to be our homework. Our homework is everyone listen to one of her songs if they are free to play somewhere.
Yeah, come back do some reviews.
I wonder if she has any videos. Oh.
Wait, go back to that other one.
I
That
don't know
one.
if I can. Oh, there.
Yeah, she was cosplaying as Kira.
Yeah, and waiting for Miles to give her some upper,
Right, because that's very
upper
much
thigh
what
rubs.
Kira was wearing.
Yeah. Karen says it's happy birthday, Avery Brooks. Do we want to see an Avery Brooks slideshow?
No.
Probably not. Yeah, so this is an album cover.
That was not a good HVA ratio shot. It really does throw it off. And it does really influence how much. Now that's the Asian side of things.
Fascinating.
Yeah, nothing you can do about that. All right, let's play the quotes game. Let's do our first quote.
That is a most intriguing
Oh,
idea,
man.
sir. I do not believe a tachyon beam was ever used in such a way. I had no idea you were so versed in the intricacies of temporal theory.
Who said that?
Data.
Who you guessing?
Data.
Saying it to who?
Card.
Spock.
There is no Spock.
Sound good.
There was
though.
a swap.
No, I know. There's no Spock in TNG.
Yes, there is.
There was.
Ambassador Spock in a couple episodes, but
He was there.
There was a swap.
all right. Not in this episode, though.
That is a most intriguing.
Damn it. How come I can't? Let me page down.
So loud.
I know. It's because I do this normalization on the videos.
That is a most intriguing idea, sir. I do not believe a tachyon beam was ever used in such a way. I had no idea you were so versed in the intricacies of temporal theory, sir.
Oh, wait, that's
Spock.
all good things.
That's right. That's the last episode. All right. Good guessing. All right. Next one. Lower your headphone volumes. Here we go.
Give it to me or I will take it by force. I am not your puppet anymore.
Who said that?
Tasha Yar to Data. Shh. Who said that?
Cisco.
Somebody said that to Cisco, or Cisco said that to somebody?
I think Cisco said it to someone.
Wait, who'd you guess? Tasha Yar?
To Data.
You're not. That's not a serious
No.
guess. You don't have a serious guess.
Cisco to
Oh, you're going to say Cisco? Magic's saying it's Cisco.
Shoot.
Ducat.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Let me see if I can page down.
Or it could be Q. No, I don't think it's Q, though.
Ducat.
Oh, yeah, there's always that hint.
Oh.
Give it to me, or I will take it by force. I am not your puppet anymore.
Wow, that's so close.
You should have. You were closer with your Tasha guess.
Tasha and Dana, yeah.
All right. That's quotes for you. Am I gonna have to play it again?
Give it to me.
Oh, I didn't change the. Trivia topic, but it's not number ones. This trivia is going to be the order that events happened. Which event happened first? So I'm going to give you 3 events, and you tell me which one happened first. Ready? Which came first? The eugenics wars, the birth of Zephyr Cochrane, or first contact with the Vulcans? And these questions are pretty easy to filter out the noobs.
I go,
IB, what are you going with?
I go A, B, and C.
Karen's going A.
PVG, what are you going with?
I go A, B, and then C.
Well, you know,
I'm
B
going
would
with
have.
B.
Yeah, B has to come before C, I think.
I'm
Yeah.
going
Oh,
BAC.
All right, let's see.
A.
The eugenics wars took place in the 1990s.
Oh, I
Zephyr
remember those.
Cochrane was born in the early 21st century, and first contact occurred in 2063. So it was A, B, C. A, B, C.
He says 1, 2, 3.
Which came first? The Romulan War, the Dominion War, or the Klingon Civil War? What are you going?
C, B, A.
CBA?
No. I take that back. C, A, B.
CAB. Cab.
I'm going to go ACB.
ACB?
ACB.
All right, let's see what it is. Romulan War was first, then the Klingon. So ACB. Magic's got it. Holy cow. Which came first? The creation of the Genesis device, the introduction of the Prime Directive, or the launch of the Voyager? This is really for the noobs.
BAC.
I concur.
B, A, C. The Prime Directive, the Genesis device, and Voyager. You were right. Which of these events came first? Earth Romulan War, Cardassian occupation of Bajor, or the Dominion's alliance with the Cardassians?
A, B, C.
I agree.
ABC. Again. Oh, I got to size that a little better. Oh, Karen also says ABC. Which began first? The launch of the USS Franklin, the formation of the Terran Empire, or the creation of the Red Angels suit?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
You're talking about 2 different timelines and 2 different
I
universes.
don't even remember what the answer is.
Wow.
I would say, because I don't remember the answer.
It's either BAC or
ABC.
yeah.
I say ACB.
No, because
No, wait,
I don't think it
no,
can
no,
be
no.
ACB.
C is first, definitely.
C is last. The Red Angel suit happens after the Terran Empire. So really, the deciding point is it the USS Franklin or the Terran Empire? I'm going to say the Terran Empire had to come first. IB says it's BAC.
Right.
We automatically agree with IB. Terran Empire, USS Franklin, Red Angel suit. Which began first? Vulcan reformation movement led by Serac, the launch of the Phoenix, or the Klingon augment crisis? You got to think about your Enterprise episodes.
BCA.
So ABC.
Karen says ACB.
I'm going BCA. I'm probably wrong, but I'm sticking with it.
ABC.
You're going ABC. Karen's going ACB. I was trying to give IB a second. Terran Empire. He must be doing like some kind of text-to-speech thing. I'll give you a hint. Serac lived like 2,000 years ago. Remember on the Enterprise episode?
Oh, I'm thinking Sarek.
Serac was like their Jesus.
All right.
So ABC.
ABC.
How is Sarek spelled? S-E-R?
S-A.
SARE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, Serac is like logical Jesus to the, because remember he created that device that they all were trying to find. And then once they found it, it had like some kind of code in it. Logic. What event began first? Klingon Federation Alliance, Borg attack on Earth, or the construction of the Enterprise D?
ACB.
What you saying, PVG?
Come on, Pivot, you up.
Pivig.
Pivot.
B-A-C.
Pivot.
BAC?
Yeah.
We're doing that just to be different.
No, I'm thinking of when Enterprise found the Borg in the ice.
Yeah, so where did that Borg come from?
From the future.
Aha!
So it still attacked the Earth.
No, it didn't. Just crashed there.
ACB is what IB says. Let's see.
That's
the
what I
answer
said.
is.
ACB.
Alliance, Enterprise D, Borg. ACB. Last one.
Because that Borg landed on Earth because of the Enterprise D. It is kind of a paradox, though.
And technically it was the Enterprise E, so it's even after the Enterprise D.
Oh, that's true.
What came first? Colonization of Mars? Damn colonizers. Formation of Bajoran Resistance, or the USS Stargazer?
Really, the Glazer?
Stop glazing.
I'm going to go ACB again.
Must be a chat GPT thing. With the
Yeah,
same.
ACB.
Let's see. It's kind of an easy one. Yeah, because obviously they're going to colonize Mars before they're doing any star glazing. All right. Oh, the real last one. Which of these came first? The construction of the Guardian of Forever? The discovery of dilithium by Starfleet? Or the formation of Starfleet? That's kind of a paradox.
ACB.
Hope that didn't just break my microphone. ACB? What is the Guardian of Forever? That's not ringing a bell.
Is that big
That's
circle
the-
thing
That's a big circle thing.
I jumped through?
Oh.
OG.
That's where Giorgio got solidified into our universe. It got ensynced.
Well, let's see. Starfleet Command was founded in 2130. The Guardian construction occurred in the distant past, but was discovered. Okay, so then it's wrong. The Guardian would have to be first.
Yeah, I would think.
Then Starfleet Command. Wait, when did they say they in dilithium? So they discovered dilithium. Well, this is not clarifying that they discovered dilithium. They're saying they started using it. I mean, you can discover something hundreds of years ago and not know how to use it. All right, so we'll say this is a bad chat GPT question. Let's go back to our view. All right, so we were talking about this article that Screen Rant came out with. And the article actually says Discovery left Star Trek in a far better place. Yes, the Guardian had to be before. Yep. Oh, let me switch back here. Oh, there we go. The Screen Rant says some writer says that Discovery left Star Trek in a far better place, that's their exact words, than it was before Discovery came along. So do you think far better place is kind of a stretch, or
I don't understand what they mean by it's in a better place. I would have to read the article to see what they're talking about.
yeah?
Because I don't know what they mean. They're like, are they saying, oh, it's more woke? If so, no. I don't give a shit about that.
Right.
If they're saying more Star Trekky, more sci-fi, I'd say Strange New World did a better thing with it.
Well, and I guess you were saying that there could be no Strange New Worlds without Discovery.
Who was saying that?
PVG.
No, I mean, if it wasn't for Discovery, we wouldn't have it. It's just,
So he said it.
well, Anson Mount, if he did a shitty job in portraying Pike, I don't think it would have happened. But he did.
I could see that.
So we have Discovery to thank for that.
If they're saying that's what they mean by they left it in a better place, yeah, you open the gateway for a show to come in and be better than you.
I read
And
a
it's
little
not
bit.
like one of those, hey, the parent opened the gateway for the kids. No, Discovery, you kind of sucked. The only benefit is you brought in a Spock and a Pike and a Kirk that we were all like, hey, they're not Chris Pine and Quinto and Zoe Saldana, but all right, that's a pretty good trio there. And you got Mystique as number one. Okay. All right, let's see where this is, because this looks like it's more of an adventure ship than a drama. Discovery had sci-fi in it, but it was more drama than I cared to see in a sci-fi show. And I like Doctor Who.
What was the first season of Discovery was what, 2017?
Yeah.
No.
I thought it was.
Hold on.
Fact check that. And then when did Enterprise end? Was that 2006?
I think it was 5.
2005. So we went possibly 12 years without a Star Trek series on TV.
I read a little bit of that article.
Yeah, Star Trek Discovery was 2017. And Enterprise
Ended in 2005.
Enterprise was 2001, right, for 4th season, so 2025
Okay.
or 2005.
So 12 years of no Star Trek, and then Discovery comes back. So I can see how there would be some
A
gratitude.
yearning.
Right.
I read a little bit of that article, and they said that Discovery brought in the first gay married couple. They brought the
The
LGBTQ.
wokeness.
So
They also brought in the what do you call it? It's
the Transformer.
the man, that she-male or
Transformer.
Yo, calm down.
So-
We're allies on this show.
male, she, whatever you call them.
Transgender.
I thought you were going to say tranny.
But
So IB, yes, without Discovery, the other 5 shows would not exist.
Or would Picard have existed?
for Discovery?
Picard.
Oh.
Picard. I think would have still existed because that has
I
nothing
think
to do.
Picard would have existed. So here's the thing. I had a thought on this.
Maybe he gave it a little kick.
If we didn't have Discovery, I think they would have gone with Picard, and I think we would have got Legends.
I think we would still have Lower Decks. We would still have Prodigy. We would still
Yes.
have Picard. We just wouldn't have Discovery and Strange New Worlds.
I think we would have Star Trek Legends, or the one that was supposed to come after. Was it Legends? Was it called Legends? Yeah, I think we still would have had Legends. We wouldn't have had Discovery. Or sorry, we wouldn't have Strange New Worlds and
Legacy.
Thank you.
So if we didn't
I think
have
we would have had
Discovery,
Legacy.
yeah,
If we didn't have Strange New Worlds and we didn't have the other one, I think we would have had Picard and Legacy. And ironically enough, I think we would have had a longer season. I think we would have at least one more season of Picard. Abbreviated, maybe. I think Picard would have been. I would have liked to have seen it if we didn't have those other shows. 12 episodes for Picard per season. And then an abbreviated 6-episode run for the final that set up Legacy. And literally did like a crossover. Like 2 episodes where you got Picard and Worf and all the OG crew putzing around at the academy or whatever. Seven's taking over and they're going over the Titan and they're dealing with, some integral, just shaking out the cobwebs type thing, transferring it from the Titan back to the Enterprise, and Seven, taking her legs, maybe updating the hologram to have projectors throughout the entire ship so the EMH could be there. And I think you would have brought in some other legacy members of Star Trek
Well, see,
that possibly would have carried over with 7
like IB
into
is
the
saying,
Legacy series.
IB saying that Star Trek nowadays, kind of starting with Discovery, was the whole season sort of has a single focus, right? Like there's a goal. Like remember with Discovery, like one whole season was like Red Suit or Red Angel.
Right.
Picard, right? All 3 seasons of Picard, each season had like one common denominator for the whole season.
Like a big story.
Like in the
a
old days,
movie.
like DS9, Voyager, and TNG, every episode was its own whole new show. There wasn't hardly any carryover.
But see, here's where I'm going with that. Season 1 of Discovery was 15 episodes. Season 2 was 14. Season 3 is, I think, back to, that's the 13. And season 4, we're looking at 13 as well. I think that 13 episode run allowed them to flesh out more of the story arcs. Season 5 was the only one that was 10 episodes. But I think that teen era roundabout episodes per season would have been good for Picard to flesh out some more of the story, and would have been great for Legacy. Now the question is, would you have rather seen that, a longer run of Picard with more episodes per season, along with Legacy, or would you rather have it as it is now, with Strange New Worlds and all the other shows that came out of it, Prodigy, Lower Decks?
It's hard to say because you never know how good it's going to be. Like there was some Picard that was not entertaining. And
story jump was just ridiculous.
And seeing John, like when they took Picard, like his body died, right? And they transported him, or they moved his consciousness to a new robotic body, but it was still old and decrepit.
Yeah.
That was kind of weird, you know?
Right.
Like that would have been the point where they could have said, you know what? Here's an opportunity to swap out Patrick Stewart, who's like 89 or something, with someone who maybe is like 30.
Like a Time Lord, I guess.
Put him in a 30-year-old person's body. And then the story could have continued on. And he could have he could have actually been in Legacy.
I mean,
I guess they
There's
could
a lot
still
of
do
things.
that because he's a robot, right? I mean, he's essentially a robot with his consciousness. So they could just take his
he's
positronic.
Bicentennial Man.
Yeah.
He's set to die. He has a
Right, but the
he's
real
like
Patrick
half of the
Stewart,
life.
can't live forever. So
Right.
that would have been, so now what they'll do is they'll probably have to come out with some storyline that says, oh, well, his body became so decrepit, we did have to move him into another person's body.
Oh no, he says it in the episode, like he doesn't want to live forever. So he's literally Bicentennial Man. His body is set to degrade at the rate it would have degraded at if he didn't have that weird disease. So it's still gonna die at its natural age, which is a fucking waste of the body. Y'all better not just throw the body away. The man's original body dead. Let his brain die off and then recycle the body and give that to somebody else. But obviously change out some of the appearance, because all that is like a liquid mesh that was thrown on top of it.
Yeah. And I mean,
Ivy says
season
Picard
1 and 2
was awful in season 1 and 2.
There
Only
was
third
little.
season was good for me.
I watched it all. Obviously, I think most of us are going to watch it all,
Yes.
regardless of whether it's good or bad.
I like 3.
3 was clearly like leaps and bounds above the other 2 seasons.
Season 1, good. Season 3, good. Season 2, shit.
Was season 2 the Borg thing?
The season 2 was we were on a different timeline.
They went back. Is that the one where
Somehow.
like Rios went back and he married the
Yes.
Hispanic girl, the single mom?
One was the Dolce chicks, and that's where he got his body.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. But the beginning of the whole thing started out with the Borg infiltration and why he got sent out there. That's why I was like, season 1 was good. You could have naturally moved that arc over. That whole, hey, we're going to go into a different universe or a different timeline with Q. That was ridiculous and uncalled for.
Yeah.
That was just dumb.
Dumb things
Karen,
happen.
2 had some good standalones. That should have been a mini series or a mini season of like 4 episodes, if that, 3.
Was
Just for
season
filler.
2 where he met up with young Guinan? Because people
Yes.
even said that might have even been like some kind of a continuity problem. Like,
Yeah,
what,
he met
what
up with
was
young
Guinan doing
Guinan.
on Earth like 200 years ago or something?
That'd be the last place I'd be.
Guinan was on Earth at the time of Mark Twain
Yeah.
when Data lost his head and they found Data's head again in TNG. So she's been around, I know, on Earth for a very long time.
Well,
So, I mean, it would be kind of cool
at
to
the
see
time,
Guinan on
like at the time,
Discovery
you
or
don't
on Strange New World.
realize, like you don't realize how bad something, or like you don't realize it's when you're watching it.
Shitty.
Like when you're watching season 1, you are just excited to be seeing it, you know, and you're gonna soak it up.
I played it to the Magneto test. Season 1, I didn't fall asleep during any of those episodes. Part of it was like, ooh, new Star Trek. But
Yeah.
it technically wasn't new Star Trek because Discovery was already out. Season 2, man, I had some good naps. Season 3, pretty good because it was like, okay, how is this tying into the future and the Borg and the Changelings and Jack, and we see Geordi's kids. Like, are they? Will they? Won't they hook up? Is this a Worf Dax situation? You know, or is this a Worf Deanna situation? I mean, what's going on with this? I didn't really fall asleep on those. Season 2, I definitely took some decent naps.
Yeah. Yeah, like IB says too, season 2 with all the time jumping and the, you know, too much Q stuff
Right.
gets a little played out. But yeah, season 3 was I think season 3 was peak. You know, it was probably as good as it can be. And then you can go back now. See, and that's the thing is when you get something good, now you can go back and compare it to seasons 1 and 2, and it kind of deflates those, you know, then you can go back and say, all right, well, compared to 3, those 2 are garbage, trash. But prior to that, you know, when 1 first came out, you didn't really have anything to compare it to. So you're just thinking, all right, well, this is all right, you know, better than the whole, it's the better than nothing paradox, right? So, but yeah, once 3 came out, then you're thinking, oh man, these other 2, what the hell?
What the hell?
What the
What the
helion?
helican?
What the helion? That's just too much TikTok strolling right there. All right, so I guess the article is not totally outrageous, you know, because
I think it is. I think we literally just took this apart and said, fuck your reasons of why you think it is better. We think it left it better because of this.
Yeah.
But the article,
Well, the article is very woke. The
and
article
that's the
is
thing.
all about, yes, we need more all of this stuff in your face.
I agree with Magic.
We didn't cover any of why. I'm sorry, we did cover why, but we don't agree with any of the reasons the article thinks Discovery left Star Trek in a better position. The statement we agree with, but not the reasons.
Right.
Your reasons are bullshit. Your reasons are, honestly, just throw it in your face. be woke. Support the LGBTQ plus NYC, ABC, CBS, FOX, WKRP, and that's fine. But that's not Star Trek.
What I think is funny is when you get people that say, well, Star Trek's always been woke. And I have to disagree with that. I don't think Star Trek's always been woke. I think Star Trek has been diverse as far as, hey, you know what? Uhura and Kirk can kiss and all this other stuff. That's just, that's just things happening.
There's a Chinese guy, a Russian guy.
I think we have two different meanings of the term woke. I say woke as in they didn't give a fuck. That's what woke to me means. You are aware of what is going on in the world, and you're going to do what you want to do regardless of what they want. So yeah, Kirk and Uhura can kiss. Yeah, we're going to talk about the Vietnam War, but not specifically the Vietnam War. Oh, you didn't get a reference to the Vietnam War? Let's go ahead and take it back to World War II and nuanced societies. Oh, you didn't get that? Well, let's just give you a planet with Nazis on it so that you can understand this. That's what they were being woke about at the time that TOS was open. And that's why that is one of the things that I can applaud. Like the discrimination one with the people that are half white, half black with the side of their faces. Yeah, it was nuanced in the main manner of if you're a logical person, kind of like what PVG said earlier, and you think in that manner, you realize they're talking about discrimination literally just based on your looks. Yeah. And you're the same people. You're saying you're a different race, but you're literally the same.
The writing in the older Star Trek prior to Discovery can almost subliminally spell those messages out. Right. But once Discovery hit, it was just forced into your face. Oh, we're going to have two married men kissing every episode.
We're going to have a transgender, non-binary person play a transgender,
and everything is just slammed in your face. And it's not subtle like it used to be in TOS, TNG, DS9.
I don't think it was subtle. I think it was just it required you to have an open mind, and you saw it. I saw it when I was a kid. I was like, hey, I get that.
It was never the emphasis of the episode.
Now it is Discovery, I hate to say it, was written for Gen A and Z and A, people that are too stupid or too lazy to read the manual. It was written for it. Literally, the writers had to put it in your face so you understood what they were talking about, because you didn't have the capability to draw information from context clues.
Yeah,
you had to be given a roadmap to say, "Hey, this person's gay. Hey, he's married to another gay man. Hey, they live together. Hey, they work together." Everybody else didn't have to do that. No one else had to do that. And you know who did it first? Star Trek. On the movie where you see Sulu and their husband pick up their daughter. And it wasn't oh my God, let's spend a 10-minute episode doing it. It's literally, you see everyone get off the ship, hug their loved ones like they're coming into the airport, and you see Sulu hug his husband and pick up their daughter. They hug, they share a moment, and they walk off.
Yep.
Nothing else needed to be said. No other dialogue needed to be said. But you get to the show, we've got to spell it out for you because you're not smart enough to get the context clues that these two people are in a relationship, that this person is clearly non-binary, having a non-binary relationship. And the fucked up part is, I don't even know if I want to say this because this may get us canceled, but I'm going to say it anyway. You're too stupid to figure it out so much that the non-binary person had an imaginary non-binary friend that literally had to keep saying it so much
That was a
that they
terrible
literally
art.
had to materialize this imaginary non-binary person into a person, and then everyone was forced to accept it.
Was that like 4 or 5 episodes that you had to
gosh.
deal with that imaginary friend?
Yeah, I'm like, are you kidding me? And you don't realize that as somebody saying, hey, I was born a woman, but I say I'm a man, but that man happens to be gay and it's having an identity crisis. And you're pushing that on everyone else. So everyone else has to conform to it and make an imaginary person so that you can acknowledge it, and you force everyone else to acknowledge it there as well. That's never had to be done before. And just because you say that's what you accept does not mean that everyone else has to follow that exception. Except for somebody else who has a delusional thought of the same manner as you, or simply wants to appease you. Doesn't mean they're bad or they're wrong. They're just opting to appease you for whatever reason.
It's called signaling. I can't remember the exact term, but
Or gaslighting.
they're giving off the signals that they are down with that community, and they're being very explicit about it.
Well, look what happened to that. I mean, if you think of everything, representation matters. This is the mirror everyone wants to see themselves in the future. Karen, I understand representation matters. Honestly, go ahead and make a Stardate 90210 and make your whole series about that and see how long that lasts. That's kind of the equivalent of the WNBA compared to the NBA. Virtue signaling is what Ivy says.
Yeah, that was the word. Yeah, I mean,
But yeah, it's literally, WNBA versus NBA. You want to have that and you want to push that agenda on everyone else or make it blatantly apparent, go ahead and make your own show about that. We'll take little bits and pieces and we'll throw it in there to show your representation. But the last time I checked, Starfleet didn't really give a shit, and they're more about the research, the science, and everything else. Not, to be blatantly honest, who you're fucking, or who you're in love with,
well,
or who you have a relationship with.
I think the Sulu example from the Kelvin movies was a good reference because it was so
Everyday
subtle.
life.
Yeah, it was just
It's not even subtle. That's just everyday life. And you don't. So it's kind of like I had a conversation with somebody else about somebody brought up a gaydar. That's, by the way, that's what they used to call it way back in the day, kids. Someone's gaydar. I said, well, you'd be surprised how many people are gay, and you don't know it because they don't throw it in your face. Mm-hmm. It's not that they're in the closet. They can be openly gay. They can hold hands. They can kiss. They can do all these other things. But they are not the flamboyant gay that is represented. And that's, I think, what Discovery was trying to do, was to show this flamboyancy without being flamboyant. So instead of being look at these heels, look at this, blah, 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 Tu Wong Fu or whatever other shows there are, they were trying to go that level with every type of, what's the word I'm looking for? Ideology that people have, whether you're gay, trans, everything. I think they were just trying to go too far with all of that. You take away from the Star Trek. You take away from the science. You want that show and you want that level of representation, go make your own show, and you can use the coattails of Star Trek, but don't try and be Star Trek without the science and everything else in there and expect people to watch it for very long, because pretty soon people are going to be like, oh, this is just a drama about the LGBTQ plus community. This has nothing to do with Star Trek.
But could the writers, like the Alex Kurtzman writing team, do they think, is that what their vision is for the future of Star Trek?
And making it as woke as Discovery?
Yeah.
No, I don't think they do. Otherwise, we would have seen it in the multiple levels of Strange New Worlds. And we don't see that. We see the subtleties in there. Like, you get a hint of Ortega's orientation. And I think there's one other person there you get a hint of. But I think with Strange New Worlds and Kurtzman's, they're more about the science. They're more about the lore of Star Trek. Not the, I think you had mentioned before, you had a small section of society that is making the loudest amount of noise about this. So they made a show to appease to them, and then that show is canceled. And then that show gets very little ratings. And it's the equivalent of the WNBA versus the NBA. I have a large amount of people that say, we want women's basketball, which I have absolutely no problem with. But the problem is this. Now they're saying, we want the pay of the NBA. And you've had so many people on these shows say, well, if you brought in the money that the NBA brings in, you would get that money. But you don't. Oh, and then they make excuses. And they say, okay, name one major player from one NBA or from one WNBA team. And you can't. Now people are saying, oh, well, you got Angel Reese and the other chick. Okay, you have two out of what, 250 WNBA players?
I didn't know you were so well versed in the WNBA.
I just read a thing about it because somebody went off on the commissioner, and I think the commissioner like suspended her or threatened to suspend her, and she was like, yeah, fuck you, I'm out. So I read up on it a little bit, and I came across these clips. And I mean, how many of you can name a WNBA team? I know Tom can.
Why I can't? Why me?
Because you lived in Phoenix and we had the Spark.
Yeah. No, we had the Mercury, but that's all right.
My bad. I'm thinking of California that had the Spark.
I actually went to a WNBA game.
So did I. I mean, they got some gumbo
free
in the
tickets
stands.
through work, but we got the
I think
suite.
I went with you.
We got the suite.
Oh no, I didn't go that time, man.
No,
but yeah.
All right, so if we look at Strange New Worlds versus Discovery, do you think that maybe they tried to steer the ship, right? Like they tried to course correct. Maybe they realized Discovery, and who knows what Starfleet Academy is going to be like. It could be even worse, but with Strange New Worlds, I do feel like it's just back to basics.
I think so too. I think it's all about the science. But I think maybe they got some help from some old school writers.
That's until we see the Muppet episode.
Yeah, the Muppet episode may change all that.
To do some new school shit that, like we talked about before, you only got 8 episodes. You can't be wasting episodes. And like the singing episodes, the Muppet episode.
I want to see Miss Piggy.
You know, kind of pointless.
Maybe
they go into the mirror universe. So, yeah. or the dance. Oh yeah, about dancing.
The dancing Klingons.
I don't. We talked about this before. I don't think you can waste that many episodes, especially when you know you're limited on seasons. You know you got 2 seasons left. Don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
Now, Discovery does have some good sci-fi episodes, and me and the fast forward 10-second option on Paramount Plus have become really, really good friends on skipping past shit that is irrelevant. And if I had my software from back in the day, I would download Discovery and re-edit those to remove all the bullshit. I bet you those episodes would fit into a 22-minute episode run. So maybe they put all that in there because they didn't have shit else to write about, or they didn't know how.
All right, so I guess we're still kind of leaning towards the article from Screen Rant claiming Discovery put Star Trek in a far better place. And I got to include the word far because they use the word far. Is pretty much just bleh.
Ivy says the Burn storyline had potential but wasted. It so did. It so did. So did the one with the Kirk.
The burn storyline should have been different, though. I didn't like what caused the burn.
I liked it.
Like somebody had a really bad migraine, and so all the dilithium in the universe exploded.
I liked it, but I think they should have fleshed it out more afterwards.
Section 31 do that?
They should have made it something to do with like the mitochondrial network or something. You know, like something something else that is more widespread.
I mean, you could
someone
go that
having
way.
a bad headache. I don't know. I just didn't.
But see, that's the thing. You saw it as someone having a bad headache. I saw it as a baby got born in a radiation field that wasn't lethal, but changed his body enough that affected him mentally, kind of like Q or the Trelane or the other level. It mutated him enough where he has that effect.
Mm.
I mean, look at Vulcans who can mind meld. So they're doing something on a mental level in short proximity. He just had a mental link that could have flowed along the mitochondrial. I can't think of where you just said it. Along those pathways, but it could also tie into the Paul Wraith, the ley lines that the Paul Wraith used to travel.
You know what? I just thought of something else. How is Spock teaching La'an how to do the Vulcan nerve pinch?
The same way he taught Kirk.
But then how come more non-Vulcans don't do it then?
Hey, you think you find
if you can just teach someone how to do the Vulcan nerve pin, how come they're just not teaching that in Starfleet, defense class 101?
Because you could kill someone if it's done improperly, like what T'Pol was teaching Trip.
How to get
you
naked?
Could, if done incorrectly,
here's how you
could
properly do a thigh rub.
You could do severe damage. So I don't know. Maybe that's why they don't teach it. I would want to learn how to do it.
It's probably on YouTube.
And then how to mind meld. And why don't they have social media?
Yeah.
in the Star Trek universe.
They don't have caller ID. What do you expect?
Or call waiting, or a mute button,
right?
Or do not disturb. I'm on the phone.
They're watching
like Halo above their head.
They're watching.
Okay, I'm on a comms call
Enterprise
right now.
PVG, what's your final thoughts of the night as we wind things down?
I don't want to go to work tomorrow.
Why not? Why not?
It's.
You don't like your job?
Oh, I like it. I just.
It's like. Remember how we'd get my brother in trouble and make him say some really bad stuff?
I just got off. It seems like.
We're missing it. We're in a lull where there's not another 3-day holiday or 3-day weekend for like almost a month.
Yep.
It sucks.
Oh, I'll be off next Monday for Columbus Day.
Oh, you get that off? Oh, I don't
think I get Columbus Day off. Colonizer Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see Tony's is having a sale on November 6th? Big Milwaukee sale. So keep
yeah. I saw
put that on the calendar.
Yeah.
Did you see that TikTok I sent you? I'm getting now all these fake Milwaukee tool
I saw
TikToks.
that. I want to send it over there.
One of them was a Milwaukee flashlight that runs. There's a hamster and a wheel. No, all right. Mgyx's final thoughts. Take us home.
I'm gonna write an expose on why Section 31 is really pulling the strings from Starfleet since TOS on. I need to write that. I literally had like 2 nights of dreams with it that I ended up lucid dreaming, like tying everything together on timelines and how this tied into this, and and it all stemmed. I mean, it's been brewing for a while, but that con episode where she says it, which is like, well, are you sure? Why didn't you look into Kirk possibly doing this on purpose? I'm like, oh, thank you. Someone else thinks the same way I do. I'm not crazy. But I'm gonna watch some DS9. This last episode I'm on with the Paul Wraith and Keiko is gonna be hard. I think I've watched it in 10-minute spurts. That's how I can only take 10 minutes at a time. And then I gotta stop and do something else. I'm gonna try and power through that as much as I can. And then I may start Enterprise. Although I've already done that one.
Oh.
I need to start another one, so when I need to take a break. I've already done TNG. But I may have to.
Oh, Voyager.
I've done Voyager so many times already. I've rewatched Voyager like 4 or 5 times now.
There's a lot of episodes though. It's like with the DS9. When you get to the big 3, which I'm going to call the big 3, TNG, DS9, and Voyager, those are 7 seasons each. That's a lot. Like I'm already forgetting early DS9, and I'm in the middle of a rewatch.
Right.
So I see things about season 1 and season 2 I've already forgotten, and I'm only on season 5 of the rewatch.
And that's
I still got to do Lower Decks.
So, and you had mentioned that before. I think we should do, I think we should give up on the animated series.
I already forgot.
As well as the TOS.
Okay.
And I think we should just go to Lower Decks.
All right.
But I think we need to do a live. I think we need to watch it.
How long are the episodes of Lower Decks? We can just do that.
22 minutes.
How long?
42? 30.
Yeah.
30.
Well, 22 when it comes. Well, I don't.
22? That's short. All right,
Well,
let's
that's how long a
do
normal
Lower
show
Decks.
is.
Oh, and by the way, Captain Kev, he's not here tonight, and he wasn't here last Sunday, but he did leave something in the comments last Sunday saying he's out of town, like on a trip or vacation. But he says he's gonna watch Lower Decks.
I don't know if you can. Hold on. I need to look at the Star Trek options on Paramount because I'm not seeing Lower Decks.
No, Lower Decks is there.
I didn't see Prodigy.
Prodigy's gone.
Prodigy's
that was
on
Netflix,
Netflix.
but it's gone now.
But I think they're moving it to. Lower Decks is there. I think they're moving Prodigy to Amazon, but Amazon with a subscription.
You have to buy each episode.
No.
Yeah, they're 25 minutes a piece. Lower Decks.
Okay. Well, let's do that.
Yeah.
We'll do that. We can come in and do that instead of the animated series. Because I think Lower Decks has more relevant stuff. The animated series is, even though it's considered canon, I guess it's forgotten canon.
It's too slow.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
I feel bad.
let me ask you this. All right, each of you. Would you rather watch a Tom and Jerry cartoon
Yeah.
or would you rather watch the Transformers?
Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry.
That didn't go the way you expected.
I mean, that wasn't a good idea.
Because Tom and Jerry is just very down to earth.
All right, hold on. Tom and Jerry's not a good one.
Do a better
Would
one.
you
Like a
rather watch
Scooby-Doo. Okay.
Pink Panther or G.I. Joe?
Pink Panther.
Maybe G.I.
This
Joe.
is not good because you're both old as shit.
How about the Three Stooges?
Because those are nostalgic. Pink Panther. And the Pink Panther was so cool.
What's an old ass cartoon that you don't want to watch, or where you would rather watch a newer cartoon?
Oh.
Like for me, I would rather watch X-Men '97 than watch Mickey Mouse or Scooby-Doo.
Old Mickey Mouse? I don't like old Mickey Mouse.
Black and white.
You're talking about, the black
like
and
a
white
rat.
Mickey Mouse was terrible, and he had this terrible voice.
I wouldn't want to watch the new Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
The new Mickey Mouse is better, though.
I would watch DuckTales before I watch Mickey Mouse or Scooby-Doo.
Well, that's
I would rather watch Rescue
yeah.
Rangers before I watch one of those old shows. That's the equivalent
Ooh,
of watching.
I got one. Would you rather watch Deputy Dog or the Powerpuff Girls?
Powerpuff Girls.
I don't know. Probably neither one of them.
I'm only watching Powerpuff Girls because it's nostalgic, because I used to watch it with a kid. Like when she would wake up in the middle of the night and Tom would be passed out.
Here's a good one. Would you rather watch Captain Caveman or Dexter's Laboratory?
Dexter's Laboratory.
Dexter's Laboratory is pretty good. But Captain Caveman was funny.
So is Dexter's.
Oh, Karen. Okay, I was about to bring up the bracket in my closing statement. Dexter's Laboratory was funny. So I'm going to work on a bracket, and I think we're going to have 16 names. We're going to have 16 crewmen, and it's going to be one DS9 crewman, or not necessarily a crewman, but someone from Deep Space Nine, the show, and someone from Voyager, the show. So hold on, let me see if I can screen share real quick.
So I got four villains.
It's going to be hard to see this. It's going to be hard to see this because the font might be too small. Okay, so here's what we got here. So in one bracket let's start on the left side. So we're going to have Worf versus Lieutenant Tom Paris. And then we'll have, so we tried to match up the same positions, but in some cases there wasn't like a straight alignment. And then you got Kira versus Chakotay, first officers. Neelix versus Quark. Bashir versus the EMH. And then on the other side of the bracket, you're going to have Dax versus Seven. Cisco versus Janeway, of course. O'Brien versus B'Elanna. And Tuvok versus Odo. So that's some pretty good.
Now, the only thing that we don't have in here are villains. So you said we need eight villains?
Or we just need 16 more people to add to the collection. So we might need the Ducats, the Borg Queen.
I have, what is this? 4. I have 7. I got Rom, Nog, Jake, Garrick, Ducat, Species 8379, the Hirogen, the Borg.
I mean, that's more than 7.
What were the dudes with the rock heads? They look like tree, like they had the things growing out of their heads.
Jem'Hadar?
We didn't even have the Jem'Hadar.
Oh, yeah. You got to get the Jem'Hadar.
The Vorta. Wait, do we have Vorta in there?
Kazon?
Yep, that's what I'm thinking of. Kazon.
Oh, IB's already filling out his bracket. I'm going to find somewhere to post these online, and then I'll put a link. I'll probably do a community post and then post a link to the brackets. That way we can all fill them out. And then next week, maybe I'll get the results.
So, Jem'Hadar, Kazon, and who else am I missing off here? 8379, Hirogen, Borg, Jem'Hadar, Kazon, Garrick, Ducat, Rom, Nog, Jake.
Changeling leader.
Q?
Oh, Founder.
Founder, boss lady.
Oh, shit. The bitch that I always want to see get kicked off the second floor of the promenade.
Oh, the Vedic. Vedic Win?
Yes. Vedic Win. Kai Win.
Kai Win.
Thank you. You said we needed 16?
Yeah.
All right, so that's 5.
I mean, it's going to be a huge bracket, though. That might be...
12.
Man,
I need 4 more. That's it. I got 12 already.
Okay.
I just need 4 more.
Are you making sure, though, that they're even? There's got to be 8 Voyager and 8 DS9.
Shit.
Because they've got to be able to evenly go up against each other.
All right.
And engineering these brackets is going to be tough because they've got to lead down into a like good battles, like second and third round battles, like March Madness.
So I think I need one more. Who else is there?
Oh, Kess.
Jim Hadar. There.
Jem Hadar.
So I have 8 for DS9. Shit, actually I have 9 for... No. I have 8 for DS9. I need 4 more for Voyager. I have Species 8379, Erogen, Borg,
What
the
about
Kazon.
Morn? Do you got Morn?
No. I already got DS9 filled out.
Oh, okay.
So I need 4 more for Voyager.
Who do you got going against Ensign Kim?
I don't have anyone. I haven't done any of those yet.
Oh, all right.
I mean, I can. You know what?
You gonna
I'll
go?
put Kim
You
on
think
here.
Kim versus Jake?
I can do that. Kim.
Ensign Kim versus Jake. Who would
so I need
Kess
3
go
more.
against?
So what?
Who would Kess go against on the DS9 side?
Hey, you know what? I didn't even put Cass on this list. We talked about it. I didn't even put her on here. Cass can go up against Garrick.
Okay. I kind of like Garrick though. Garrick
We
is
need 2
considered
more
one of the
from
best
Voyager.
characters from DS9.
We got 2. I need 2 more for Voyager.
Okay.
I'm not doing heroes and villains. I'm just getting. I need.
Can you count
2.
future Janeway?
Nah, fuck that. Oh, I was gonna say
Lieutenant or Daniels from the future?
no.
Or not Daniels. Who
What
is
is
the
the
one
equivalent
that
of the? What is the equivalent of the Pathfinder from Voyager?
Oh. But I just thought of a good one for Voyager.
Who?
Lieutenant Barclay.
Oh.
How is that?
No.
Is he more on Voyager or more on TNT?
Oh, IB says
TNG.
hairy armpits.
Oh, thank you, Naomi Wildman. I was trying to think of her name.
We were just talking about it earlier today.
All right, I need one more.
From Voyager.
Then for Voyager. So
you
right
got
now, I
Species
have,
8472. Do you have Borg Queen?
Yeah, I just have the Borg.
Okay. And you got
So right now,
Herogen?
I have 4 heroes on DS9, 4 evil villains for DS9. I have 4 villains for Voyager. I need 1 more hero for DS9 or for Voyager.
Hero?
Yeah, so for the heroes, I have Kim, Kess, and Naomi Wildman. We already have the EMH on here.
Naomi Wildman ain't getting my vote. She got hairy pits.
I'm trying to think of who else came back or who else worked in there other than Seska, but she was kind of eh.
I can't think of anybody else from Voyager. They had such a limited cast of regulars. Oh, wait. Oh, never mind. I was thinking of Hugh, but that's not Voyager.
No.
But did they have any more one-off Borgs that they rescued? But not, I guess not enough for us to
they're the
remember.
Borg kids.
Borg kids.
The Borg kids, the Borg babies.
The Borg baby. Well, then DS9 would have the Jem'Hadar baby. So who's going to win that battle?
No, that kid was only a kid for a day. All right, so I have 8 versus 8.
All right. I'll send you a link to a bracket, an online bracket free thing that you can do.
I'm actually just gonna give you the list of the names and you put it in the bracket because you have control over this. And as soon as I remember how we can chitter chat through here, I think it was through the Facebook.
Do the Facebook Messenger. All right.
That's what I'm thinking. All right, so now after this is done, we're gonna do TNG versus Enterprise.
TNG versus Enterprise?
TNG characters versus Enterprise, because this is just character versus character. So in other words, you would have Picard versus Archer.
Let's see how this goes. Maybe we just need to open it up. 64 names from any series.
Dude, that's an odd number of series.
64?
It's an odd number of series.
No, but I'm just saying 64 names. Pick them. Any series.
Dude, I mean,
Like
shit.
Like you could have Data.
And so you want to add
Data
in Kirk,
versus
Spock, McCoy, everyone.
7.
You want to put Strange New Worlds in there too?
Yeah. Every series.
We got it. No.
Burnham versus
No, we got to keep. We got to have some
original.
No, we got to have some kind of deviation. This is the big 4 that we're all on at the same time. TNG, DS9, Voyager, and Enterprise.
All right.
That's the OG
let's
generation.
just do this one first. DS9 versus Voyager. Let's see how it goes. I like it. I think it's fun to talk about. And
TNG and Enterprise next time.
We'll see. Let's see how this goes. One step at a time. Just like landing on the moon, right? Which we did. Don't ever try to deny it.
You sure about that?
We just threw away the instructions, but
we lost them all. We lost
did
the film
it,
footage,
but we forgot how now. Even though ChatGPT could probably tell you how to do it.
ChatGPT already did. We posted that on our show.
ChatGPT can give you all the trajectory details.
If you go to one of our, wait, are they still up? Are the videos still up somewhere?
Maybe.
Or technically in sound?
Somewhere.
One of our episodes, I posted the instructions from ChatGPT and how to successfully launch from Earth and land on the moon. And it gives you everything that's required.
All the details. Everything to plug into your navigational computer. But all right. The brackets are exciting. I'm looking forward to that. And this was kind of going to be that theme for next episode of DS9 versus Voyager. At first, it was just going to be a philosophical debate, but then I thought, you know what? Let's do some brackets and go down the list and go one by one, and then eventually we'll come out with a winner, and then we will crown that series. Whoever ends up as number 1. It could be Neelix. Right? Neelix could work his way through the brackets and come out as the winner. Or it could be Jake Sisko, the coward. We don't know. But we're going to find out. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. I am going to stop screen sharing.
I'm sending you the list in the Facebook Messenger now.
Send me the list.
It has the breakdown.
Okay. I'll plug it all in. I'll set up an online bracket. I'll put the link. Oh, Tuvix. Poor Tuvix. You got Tuvix on there?
Tuvix.
No. Who is he going to go against?
Baby Jem'Hadar.
Rom or Nog?
No, he'll go against Mirror O'Brien.
I don't have Mirror. No, we're not doing that.
Smiley. He'll go
We're not
against
doing
Smiley.
that. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Well, okay. Well, we're going to wrap. I got to go get ready for bed so I can work at 4 a.m. tomorrow. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Don't forget, subscribe, like, smash, comment, all the other things that we do. And we'll catch you guys next Sunday night. We'll have brackets ready, and we're going to hash it out.
Greenville, if you're still up, go to bed. You got school tomorrow.
Greenville, stay up, drink some Twisted Teas. That's
and
what
a 5-hour energy drink.
Red Bulls. All right, peace out, everybody. Bye-bye.
Let's see ya.
Nanu.
Adios.